Everybody, Peter Vexelman here. How is everybody doing? It is Tuesday Night Live. So glad to be here. Like literally woke up today and warm enough to swim in Florida and finishing the day off here in our Atlanta place. And we just got back from dinner and it is freezing. I mean, I think literally in the last 12 hours, I'm pretty sure I had like a 30, 40 degree temperature change, but those are the kind of problems you encounter when you like to travel. But I'm glad you guys are here. We got a special night. We got a super duper partner on a phone with me. We're going to bring him up here in just a little bit. But while everyone's bouncing on, dialing on, let me know where you're calling in and dialing in from. Always curious about that. What's up, Brad? What's up, Erica? I'm learning how to scroll. I've only been using this technology for a year now. We got Coming in the house. We got Savannah in the house. What's up, Greg? What's up, Christine? What's up, Bolton? How you doing, buddy? I bet you're experiencing some cold up there in Illinois. Yes, sir. What's up, Thomas? Yeah, Ohio. That's my hometown, Akron, Ohio. So I understand what it means to be cold in Ohio. All right, guys. We got a special stuff tonight here. We're going to get started here with our partner in just a little bit. And this is just a time to, if you're a partner, tonight's going to be great because you're going to be like, okay, it ain't just Pete doing this thing. It ain't just Julie doing this thing. It's, it's real life partners doing real life deals. So it's going to be super duper. I'm sure we'll learn a ton along the way. And if you're not a partner and you're just trying to figure out, man, is this thing even possible? Does this thing work? Are there people actually partnering and closing deals with these guys? Then tonight's going to be really good for you because that's what tonight it's all about. What's up, Dawsonville, Harrisburg? What's up, Bryant? Yes, it is cold in Georgia too, especially I bet in the mountains. Columbus, Ohio, near and dear. I went to college actually in Miami, Ohio, and had some really, really good friends that I used to visit up in Columbus, Ohio at Ohio State. So glad you're in the house. All right, let me know where you're dialing in from as I get ready here for tonight. Again, we got some really, this is going to be good, guys. I promise you. No matter where you are in your trajectory in this business, maybe with us, this is going to be like, okay, I get it. I might not want to do it, but it ain't going to be because it doesn't work. That's really what tonight is all about. So we're going to get started here in just a couple minutes while everybody's dialing in. I guess we're zooming in, right? People don't dial anymore. That's one thing I do like about Zoom. I could look at my hair, check it out, make sure it's all dialed in. But the funny thing is I know Zoom has been around and I know I did some Zoom calls before the pandemic, but I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't know it was Zoom call. I just knew I was doing video conferencing. Now everything is done via Zoom. What's up, Ontario in the house? What's up, Michigan? What's up, Mitchell? What's up, Raisa from New Jersey? Oh yeah, thank you. Harris dialed in. That's very important for me to know. Oh yeah, all right. We got a couple places in Canada. Awesome. What's up, Ed? How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, Ed, listen, buddy. So proud of you on the hashtag Go30. Go 30 hard. That's awesome, man. So proud of you. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit. We got a lot of people from the West Coast, I'm being told, on the call today, which is great. I'm going to be going to West Coast. We're going to be in California. I want to say in January, no later in February. We're meeting one of our amazing partners out there in a place called, I think it's called Big Sur, something like that. And I'm going to be meeting one of our partners, somebody we've done like literally hundreds and hundreds of deals with. Last time my wife and I were in California a couple of months ago, we got a chance to spend time with him and his wife right across San Francisco in a little town. And this time we're like, let's take the whole weekend. And so it's gonna be myself, Rafa, and Chelsea, myself, Irina, Julie, and Brian are gonna head up there. That's one of the things we're gonna be doing a lot more next year. We're gonna be tooting around the United States and meeting partners. So another reason why this hashtag Go 30 Hard is so critical. It's a way to propel you further down the road in this business. All right, guys, well, let's get rolling. So glad you guys are here. I'm going to bring on our special partner here in just a couple minutes. But let me just tell you what we did the last week. I mean, last week was an amazing week for myself, for Julie, for Rafa, for Chelsea. It was a week that we are all like, you know what, let's all get together, because in this like pandemic world, you know, we used to have an office. We still have an office, but we just don't go there too much anymore. As a matter of fact, before the pandemic, we had a 10,000 square foot building. During the pandemic, we ended up with a 1,500 square foot building, only because we realized we don't need all those people. I'm sorry. We needed all the people. We actually ended up hiring more people. We didn't need all that space. You know, people were just killing it with us. And so, but what the one thing that I think this pandemic did do is I do still think that personal one-on-one interaction is still very important. And so myself and Rafa and Julie and Chelsea were like, okay, let's grab our spouses and let's go. And we rented a house right around Santa Rosa Beach in Florida. And I can just tell you guys, it was magical. And you know, this is like, people sometimes say, well, you know, you talk about your lifestyle and all this. Well, yeah, because I don't talk about it like, I don't talk about my life. The weird thing is I don't talk about my lifestyle like with my friends and buddies that I hang out with, because I don't talk about it from a show-offish way. But I do talk about it many times in the partner-driven model from a standpoint, because, sorry, I'm just opening a window up, from a standpoint of, you know, I just want to share with people that this stuff works. We had this amazing, and I want to tell you something that we did that is going to impact every single one of you here this week. But beside that, and I'll get to that in a minute, we literally did have an amazing time together. Like, you know, we had the whole week, we had a private chef cooking us dinners that like to mind blowing. You know, we rented a yacht that we just spent a whole day on. We did a deep sea fishing trip. You know, we rode bikes. We did other excursions. So, I mean, it was just like magical. We stayed this unbelievable 7,000 square foot house. Amazing. But at the same time, we were growing our business. And what we did this week was literally, from the marketing perspective, finalized a system that, and this is mind blowing. I'm just telling you what I'm about to share with you. And this is for our partners, by the way. What I'm about to share with you, as far as I know, there's no one else doing this. Like, as far as I know, there's no one else that has this capability and technology. But check out what our partners are very shortly about ready to start getting in terms of leads, right? Because look, we're in a business of real estate, but it could be argued we're almost in a business of marketing, right? It's all about marketing. It's all about finding the property. You know, it's like when you find the property, it's like goal, touchdown, you know, 3-point shot. So it's all about being able to get that deal. And there's many different marketing techniques. There's many different marketing strategies, but what we're about ready to unleash is a game changer. So let me kind of walk you through what this thing is going to look like. Actually, it already looks like it's already done. We're actually launching some beta testing with it with a couple of bigger partners. And then we're going to just move it over to the technology. We're going to move it over to the rest of the partner family. But so what happens in real estate, you know, sometimes people say, well, who do I go after? Like, how do I know someone's a motivated seller? Well, in the end, you don't. I mean, you do not know what's happening behind closed doors of a property. You just don't. I mean, we all like, there's preferential areas, there's types of looking properties, but in the end, you really, really don't know. So there's what is known in real estate. Now follow me on this, because I'm going to teach you something and I'm going to show you something really cool. So there is what we call in real estate is list stacking. And list stacking is exactly that. You basically take a sampling of property owners, let's say 10,000 of them, right? A random sampling in a specific area, let's say, and then you start stacking that list or qualifying the list. Like for instance, the only people that I want to remain on this list are the ones that have at least 40% equity, right? Because why go after something where there's zero equity, right? Why, I want at least to have a shot at getting this property. You go after, let's say, so you condense that list. Then you throw out, let's say, everybody that lives in that house, and you go after people that are what are known as non-owner occupied, like they have second homes or rental homes, okay? Because those are the most likely people. This is like a statistical fact. Those are the most likely people to sell their homes. So, the stack gets smaller. Then you throw out people, let's say they just bought their house. Let's say somebody bought their house in the last 6 months. I mean, you're not 100% sure, but if I just bought a house in the last 6 months, chances are I'm not going to just like take an absolute killing on it. So maybe you say, okay, the next stack is throw out all the new owners and let's go after, people that at least own the house 10 years plus, and on and on and on and on. And ultimately you come up with a fairly manageable stack of potential owners. Now, just because you come up with that stack doesn't mean everyone in that stack is going to be motivated, or it doesn't mean everyone's going to have the ability to give you a good deal. All you're doing is you're kind of tipping the needle in your direction. That's all you're doing. You're tipping the needle in your direction. But ultimately, you kind of have to take that list through a process, like calling on that list, having other people call on that list, maybe send some flyers out, maybe do some door knocking. Ultimately that list has to be from a short stack to like a no stack, where like you're like, okay, this person, and this person. So you may start out with something, 500 or 1,000 here, stack it here, qualify it beyond that, and then only end up with 1, 2, or 3. That's by the way, that is real estate. And it's that whole process that could be fairly cumbersome, fairly sophisticated, for those of you that are doing it right now, it could be fairly stressful and all this. But what if you could shortcut that process and not start out with a wide open list? What if you could literally just end up with those 1, 2, or 3 people that basically raise their hand and say, looks like I'm your seller? What if you could literally get rid of that whole front end piece, and on that back end, all you're doing is you're getting kicked out, Bob Smith, Terry Johnson, Elizabeth, whatever. Wouldn't that be cool? What if that whole process could be done for you? And what if it's not, check this out. What if it's not done from a standpoint, okay, here's your 1, 2, or 3. Let's hope it works. Because, that doesn't mean it's going to work with those 1, 2, 3, by the way. Those are just the absolute most likely candidates. What if that could be done for you over and over and over and over and over and over? Because the thing that people never quit this business when they have truly motivated sellers to talk to. That never happens. 100, maybe not 100, but almost all the time, the reason people quit is in this initial process. It is cumbersome. It does take time. It is frustrating. I've been there. I did it for years myself. So what I'm saying to you is not only are you getting the most qualified possible lead, but you're getting rid of all the not nonsense. That's a bad word, but you're getting rid of all the work it takes to qualify that lead to that point. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we here at Partner Driven are about ready to unleash for our partners. That's exactly what we're about ready to unleash for our partners. Now, we pride ourselves here at Partner Driven of doing pretty much every aspect of the real estate business or deal with our partners. Number one, you better believe it. You better know what you're doing, because I can give you a raw, good, qualified lead, but if you don't know what to do with it, if you don't know how to approach it, if you don't know how to close it, if you don't have the money to do something with the deal, if you don't have the back office to process that deal, if you don't have the construction piece, if one's needed to help you fix the deal, you're dead in the water, right? That's like giving somebody one of those, before a diamond becomes a diamond, it's a pretty messed up little piece of rock, but it's got all the potential in the world. So at the partner driven level, we're about ready to start handing out these rocks, all the potential in the world. But we give everything else to make these kind of rough, dark looking rocks into an absolute diamonds. As a partner, you do get all of that. You get the coaching, the mentoring, the lead gen, you get the technology, you get the back office, you get the construction, you get the money if money is needed, you get the processing, you get admin help, literally every aspect of it. And then we put these properties in the market and sell them, split the profits. So before we bring our amazing partner on board, I want to say this. There's two types of individuals that are listening to us tonight, right? Some of you guys are already our partners. And what I just told you for you is a game changer. Make no mistake about it. Like, looking from what I just explained to you from my standpoint of 22 years in the business, of like hitting my head against a wall for years of those and having zero to show for it. Sometimes going backwards, like literally going backwards. Can you imagine swimming over a lake 2 miles wide, and halfway through the trip, you realize in the last, hour or two, you actually gone backwards because of the currents? That was me in the real estate. There was time frames in this business. And I don't mean like couple days or couple weeks or couple months. I'm talking about there were like years in real estate where if you just say, okay, December, 31st, okay, here we go. Next year, December 30th, I went backwards. I went backwards financially. I went backwards status-wise. I went backwards credibility-wise. I went backwards every single possible way, deal-wise, everything. So from my standpoint, what I just told you, if you're already a partner, get ready. We're about ready to go down here. This is going to be crazy. And this is why if you're a partner, please, 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 if you're not already participating, go to our private Facebook page today, figure out what it is that hashtag Go30Hard is, and participate, because you need momentum. This thing only works if you have momentum. And one of our rallying cries that we decided with this week as we all hung out in Florida together is the goal is to take as many partners to multiple deals a month consistently in 2021. Part of that is going to be momentum. Don't think that you could just like take a lead with no momentum, not knowing what you're doing, not being part of the system, not being plugged in. Just take a raw lead and like flip it and make money on it. Sorry, it's not that easy. So if you're a partner tonight, guys, I cannot wait. And by the way, we're rolling this thing out like next week in a test mode with real life partners. And, I'm sure there'll be some hiccups, and who cares? We'll fine tune it pretty quickly. Okay. So if you're a partner, like get really serious, like figure out how to get yourself to the next level. We got all the tools you need. We're here for support, for help, for mentorship, for technology, for money, we're here, but you gotta, the work is on you. And I promise you, we by ourselves will make you zero money. I mean, there's sometimes people partner with us and they literally think, oh, now I'm a partner, so I'm going to sit back and, hey, Pete, tell me when you wire me the money. It ain't ever happened. You got to put still inordinate amount of work and effort and all this, but you get it. Okay. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir if you're already a partner. And so for those of you that are partners, please, please, when we're done here tonight, or if you're listening to this in the recorded format, go to our private Facebook page, Hashtag Go 30 Hard. It's a way for us to build momentum, consistency, participate, post something that you're doing, hopefully marketing related on a daily basis. Crazy. If you're not a partner yet tonight and you've been like checking us out and you heard what I just said and you're like, I'm not sure if this is for me, let me save you some time. It's not for you. This is not for you. I don't know what else we could do. Like if tonight you're like, oh, wow, they're going to start generating. Okay, so they're going to give me the mentorship. They're going to give me back office. They're going to give me technology. They're going to give me the money. They're going to help with construction. They're going to do qualified leads. Gosh, I don't know. I got to sleep on this thing. I'm going to save you some time. Like, shut it off right now. We're not an organization you will ever want to join. I don't know what else we could do. Like, we're generating motivated leads in the most unbelievable market that I've personally seen in 22 years. But if you've been checking us out, this is it right here. This is like today we're doing this. You got to get serious about it. And so if you are ready to get started like tonight, not tire kick, not take up our time in terms of, well, what's this all about? But if you're listening to us today, you probably already know what this is about. This is just this isn't like the final straw, hopefully that gets you to be a partner. We have a team member on standby tonight. Her name is Christine. Her number is 770-369-4395, 770-369-4395. I'm sure somebody will throw it up in chat. Give her a call tonight. She'll get you started. And as early as tomorrow, we will be on our way. To start putting deals together. Okay. So like this was something I was planning to doing for the first 7 minutes. I'm now 25 minutes into it. Steven's probably like, okay, I guess we don't need me tonight, but we do. Steven, you there, buddy?
Yeah, buddy, I'm here.
There he is. Steven Policelli. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, man, how are you?
Good, man. I'm glad you're here tonight. Thank you for being here. And let me tell you a little bit about, and I don't think you know this, Steve. I think I might have told you this like a month ago, but this is a conversation that I had with the inner circle here, the Marys, the Lauras, because I always the goal for next year for us at the partner driven level is to get as many people as we can possibly to the point that we're doing consistent deals. Mm-hmm. And so this is how we launched the hashtag Go 30 Hard. But before we even did that, I was talking to them and I said, listen, I need to take a couple guys under my own wings and I want to get them to those higher levels. And I don't know if Steven, you and I ever had this conversation, but across the board, there were some team members that disagreed who I should do this with. 100% of them all brought up. I mean, literally, you were the one consistent name that the team here internally said, Steven's the guy. And so, again, I don't know if I've even told you this before. And that's when I kind of remember I reached out. I'm like, dude, let's do accountability more. By the way, as much good stuff as I'm going to tell you tonight, I'm also going to pick on you a little bit. We got to get a little bit more tighter, you and I. We got to get a little bit more plugged in, more accountability and all this. But you are, dude. You're just a cool dude. You're like what I call a partner for life. I know that the whole team counts on you for things and all this. I cannot wait to do many more deals than we've already done. Obviously, we all here know you. The world that might be listening to us tonight in a live environment doesn't. The people that are going to be listening to you. Tell us about Steven. A little, before real estate, just kind of walk us through who you were.
Yeah. So I grew up in upstate New York, and I live in Virginia Beach now, and I moved down here about almost 17 years ago. Took a job and wanted to live at the beach, and here I am. And about 2012 or so, I needed a plan B for work and planning for the future, and I got into real estate. So I became an agent and started selling homes. And then 2018 or so, I have a 5-year-old daughter, so she's actually in the bath right now for about time. But around 2018, I decided, I was like, all right, I need to ramp up my real estate business. And I did. I started purchasing leads and really going after real estate more as a business. And I realized that I wasn't really very knowledgeable on the investment side of the game. And as an agent, if you really don't know what investors look for, you can't help them. And because real estate is a very ebb and flow kind of business, you got to be prepared for when the market turns and you don't have as many buyers, or you've got an abundance of sellers, and it turns me more into an investment market. And I knew I wasn't prepared for that. Doing some research, came across Partner Driven. Talked to Julie for quite a little while, because I'm really not one to kind of just try stuff. I really want to know about it. But after talking to her, took the jump, made the leap, and here I am. I think I've been here almost 10 months or so. I think it's been, continuing my full-time job and the real estate, which I do damn near full-time as well.
Do you mind, because you have a little bit unusual background, and I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing what you do with us?
So I work in the public safety sector. I'll just say that. And I work with people a lot in that field. And working with people, that's how I learned how to do business and sales. Really, is because it's all rapport building, all the same thing. So yeah, I do have a little bit of a different background. That, believe it or not, it prepared me more than I would have ever imagined for doing real estate, both on the conventional side of real estate and the investment side as well. So.
Now, when you took the initial leap, and I know you did it through the agent realtor side, back then, 8-9 years ago, what was your vision then in terms of being an agent? Like when you got into it, was it to get out of the other side of your world? What was the vision?
Vision was to put more money in my pocket. The public service world doesn't make a whole lot of money, and I needed to have something where I could make some extra money, but I wasn't. I was in a different field, and I needed that separation. And because you put 80 hours into any job, it's gonna end up burning out. I didn't want to get burnt out, but I really do like working with people, and I really do like the rapport building and the relationship building. And this guy gave me an opportunity to do real estate, gave me an opportunity to do that in a completely different light, and being there for the good times of people. And I drive on that. That's why I really love this business all around globally. I really love the real estate business.
So tell me a little bit, because a lot of times people do become partners with already a real estate background. You're already a realtor. I mean, I know it's not really an investor, but you already, have a background in real estate. I'm sure you had a general knowledge of what investing is all about. Mm-hmm. So what was it that attracted someone like you with a real estate background to the partner-driven model?
So I thought I could kind of jump in the deep end of the pool, so to speak, because of the experience that I had. I mean, I had experience talking to people about houses. I had experience about the market. I can, do comps and understand value, and I can understand as is value as compared to, rehab value. And I can also bring, options to everybody I talk to. My option for every seller is always going to be cash first. I think it's the easiest deal for everyone, and if it makes sense, it helps the seller because they're out. It helps me because I gain a client and a property, and then with the partner-driven model, it works out super well for me and us. But the nice thing about it is whoever I come in contact with, I do have those options as well. So we can go, hey, that's not going to work. We can't make this work. I don't have to walk away, and I can go the conventional route and list the house. And that's happened quite a few times where we just couldn't make the numbers work for everybody, but I didn't have to walk.
What you're talking about right now, to you, it's natural. To most people, it's probably going over their head. So I want to take a second, explain what Steven's talking about. This is huge. This is what we call here as consultative sales. And actually, we have taken this model that specifically Steven's talking about, and we've taken it to a national level. And this is like, if you're a partner tonight, I want to kind of I want to dissect a little bit about what Steven said and how I want you to think about what he said and how you could actually make more money, even if you're not licensed, and how we did it. If you're not a partner yet, this is an opportunity you'll have in terms of capitalizing in this business, in this industry, in ways like I've always been an investor. I've never in my life thought about capitalizing on the realtor side. Like that wasn't even the realm of like what I thought about. Sure, I flipped some leads that way. They flipped some leads to me. But then one day I started thinking, and it's exactly what Steven said. Why not take the whole approach to every seller from a consultative perspective? Meaning, sellers have needs. Like if somebody says, I want to sell, it doesn't mean I want to like sell at an investor price. But at the same time, it doesn't mean I could sit on the house for the next 6 or 7 months waiting to sell retail. Everyone's got their needs. So how we've set up our model here some time ago is this. We would literally, and Stevens happens to be an agent, so he could, run with this himself. I was never a realtor. No one in our inner circles was a realtor. So we literally recruited, like we worked with a number of Stevens in the beginning, and they could have been from different agencies, different brokers, had nothing to do with each other. And here's kind of what we taught them to do. Hey, next time you talk to a seller, don't just tell that seller that, you want to list their house, you can make a ton of money for them. Add one more piece to it. Mr. Seller, and this was usually, this is the line that got us ultimately probably over 100 agents doing this with us. That we just added one more line to their presentation. By the way, I happen to have a buyer. And Mr. Seller, if you need to sell fairly quickly, if you don't have the money to repair what I'm about ready to tell you that needs to be repaired and all this, and with that one line, we literally put over 100 agents into our network, well over 100, by the way. And there was a point in time, and this is before the partner-driven model, there was a point in time we did almost no marketing because we were getting all of our deals from our agents. We then, Steven, actually took it to one more step. We actually decided to do marketing for our agents. So like when our callers were approaching sellers, we weren't approaching them from an investor perspective. We were literally approaching them from a consultative. And our callers were just basically going in and basically telling the sellers, listen, as long as you're interested in selling, we feel like we can help you. We got something, a quick vanilla model where we can get you out of your property very quickly, close on it and all this. Or we have some other options where we can get you more retail. And all our callers did was set up appointments for our sellers. Callers set appointments for our agents. And can you imagine having 100 agents a day, well over 100 agents a day, going into people's houses, and we usually could tee up, somewhere between 1 to 3 appointments a day for them. So now we'd have about 300 to 400 appointments run every day, where our agents were doing consultative approach. And so it's just a numbers game. Out of 200, 300, 400 people a day, every day, 2 or 3 people said, yeah, I got to do this thing quickly. So we always were able to feed our investor side. But at the same time, we built a huge retail business out to the level that we're like, okay, we need to start getting some referrals fees. So we got an in-house agent to come in, we got a license. And so we're able to get referrals. So what happened is we were still killing it on our investor side deals, okay? But at the same time, we were making a ton of money because we were getting 25, I think we're getting about 25 when we started out, 25% referral back. So we were making tens and tens of thousands of dollars in that model on the referral side. And that's one of the things, Steven, that, you and I have been talking about, like, oh, by the way, this is the one thing we always, like, the main realtors that oversaw this whole thing. Because again, we weren't licensed, so we would sometimes even get brokers to come in and oversee this thing. We always taught them, make sure you're staying focused on the investor side. Get those cash offers. We did the same thing we're doing. We started partnering with them, splitting profits. And so the way we taught them would basically feed all the listing appointments out to your agents around you. let them make the commission, do whatever splits you want to do, cut us back to 25%. And as a result, we built like an empire of agents, just getting us investor deals, getting listings and all that. And that's kind of a little bit direction that you and I have been talking about, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
But you're still in your model taking the lead, right? You're still in the model. You're the guy going in there, right? Because
I am a little bit of a control freak when it comes to that, because that is the part that honestly, I really enjoy that part. I enjoy the rapport building, relationship building, and the catch. And then I have some agents that I work with that are taking on some of the other tasks. So I will hire an agent to do things like put on the lockbox and put up the signs and maybe write a contract or two, or write this or write that, and then they get paid at closing. They get paid like a transaction coordinator would. Saying I completely use leverage as much as I can, leverage time for a little bit of money, because it makes sense to me. But I really do like the chase of finding the leads and then converting leads. So if I can keep that going for a little while, at least until I find someone who will follow my model, so to speak, because I have the same script every time I talk to somebody. But until then, I'm doing it myself.
So you got some big nuggets in here. I rarely hear, and I've been investing for 22 plus years. I've been either partnering or coaching people, 12, 15 of those years. I hardly ever hear someone say, I love this business, and then they quit. Even what I hear is people saying it's too hard, it's too frustrating. So
it is hard and it is frustrating.
But how do you so talk to somebody, like when I say these things to them, it's like, well, it's you and you've been doing it for long. How do you like literally verbalize, I love the chase? Like, is that a mental thing you put yourself into? Is this something you've always been like, to you, this just comes naturally? This is this thing I struggle with the most. How do I get people to fall in love with a pretty darn difficult process?
So personality wise, I think I'm a problem solver. Like, I like putting puzzles together and I like figuring out solutions. So when I approach, if I approach you as just a client, anytime I come to you with a problem, I'm going to have like 2 or 3 solutions to figure out how to fix that problem. And I thrive on that part. I love the mental chess game of that. How do I explain that? I don't know. I find that it's fun and it's really frustrating and stressful, but when the deal closes, it's those first few minutes that, either make it or break it. It doesn't matter what the numbers are. Nothing really matters. If you can't get past that first 30 seconds when you meet somebody and, or you talk to them on the phone, all of that has a play in how the outcome comes, or plays out, I should say. So, how do you teach somebody that? You got to find somebody who has the true desire to help somebody, because I really do. I really do have the desire to help people, and I can help them out of their situation and make a living doing it. That's gold right there. And find the people who like solving problems and putting puzzles together and coming up with some out of the box thinking solutions. I hope that answers the question. Look, if it was a simple, here's how you do it, then everybody would do it. Tell me a little bit. And one of the things I like to do is I get a little bit personal with people. How important is your daughter in this whole thing? Oh God, she's the only reason why I work. I can tell you my regular job is 40 hours a week. And then I probably put in 30 hours a week doing real estate. And it's all for her. When I go, I want to leave her a little bit of an empire, so to speak. So that her future is secure. So that she's the motivation that keeps this whole thing going.
And to me, like at a personal level, Stephen, that is the answer right there. Mm-hmm. I think the reason that so many people never make it is their reason why is not big enough. Like to you, it's just natural. Oh yeah, it's her and she's the reason. But ultimately it is tough. It is frustrating. And if your why is not big enough, chances are you're going to get clobbered in the fight.
Here's
And,
it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
The other thing is I don't have to sell or buy out of desperation. I have the luxury of time because I have another source of income, which is when every time we talk about, doing real estate as the only gig, that little bit of a net that I have really, it helps me because I can talk to a guy and says, yeah, I'm really not interested. And I can say, all right, buddy, well, you have a good day. And, I'm here if you change your mind. Desperate salespeople don't sell anything. And I think setting yourself up to be in a position where you can do this without the desperation and you set boundaries. Boundaries are huge for me. And when I started setting boundaries in my real estate business, it took off like crazy, like wildflower, because I was able to say, hey, I'm not gonna work with you because of these reasons. It's not a good relationship. So I got to focus on the people that I had built good relationships with and could build rapport with easily, and just things took off. So
that matters. I had interesting you say that. I had a partner call me a couple of days ago, and he was excited. He's fired up. He's like, Pete, I'm quitting my job. I'm going all in on this. And I just simply asked him, I said, how much time you got? Like, how long can you quit your job and not make money? And he told me something like 45 or 55 days. And I said, no, don't quit. Don't quit. I mean, certain things I like when you're back against the wall, but like this kind of unneeded stress, I always tell people, keep the day gig going as long as you can, buy yourself a bunch of time. But the other side of it, you're absolutely right. You're buying yourself like stressless things. You know what I mean? And that's like in of itself worth its weight in gold. Doing it and you're right. You come across differently to sellers, right? If you're desperate and you're like, if I don't do this deal, I don't pay my mortgage, man, people could see through that. They could see through that in a second.
Yeah, I wrote a sales class for my old brokerage, and I was equating to everything in sales to being like dating. It's the same idea. You're building rapport, you're building relationships, and if you seem desperate at dinner, you're probably not going to get to the second date. And it's the same thing in sales. If I show up desperate and hungry or over aggressive, then it's just not. People have to like you in order to do business with you, because there's 1,000 of me's putting signs. I don't put signs out. I don't send postcards just yet. But there's 1,000 of, I buy houses everywhere. Why would they want to work with me? Well, because I can sell me. And if I can sell me, then I can work with them.
Yep. You got it. All right. So let's do this. I know do you remember Palem Road? Mary just texted me.
Which one? There was 2 on that road.
Okay.
They closed within a week of each other.
Talk about one of them. How did you find it?
So you guys had promoted Facebook marketing. So I called them, and we got set up with Amplify, and got a lead off of them. And his name is what was his name? His name is Johnny. No, not Johnny. Sorry, Paul. His name is Paul. And Paul was looking to sell his house. Not quite there just yet. He's got to wrap up some legal issues with ownership in a probate situation. But Paul's been around that neighborhood for 20 something years and knows everybody. So I'm like, hey man, I don't think we can make this work just yet. These are things we need to do. Anybody else who might be interested? Yeah, I know Johnny right over there. How long you know Johnny? He's been my best friend for 20 years. Well, tell me about Johnny. Hey man, he's this, he's that. He wants to go here. He's trying to sell his house. He's tired of renting it. He just wants out. Hey, can you set me up with a phone call? Ask him if I can give him a shout. Yeah, man, no problem. Great. And Paul became my bird dog. So that one we picked up for $93,000, I think it was. And then we had it sold like 3 times. And it was just one of those deals that we kept getting a baseball bat to the face every time I turned a corner. And we ended up selling it at like 110, I think it was. So not the greatest example of a good deal, but we made it work. It just, a lot of things happened that were unavoidable. For instance, like the new photo, I put quick photos up, and then I went back and had a photographer actually take photos of the house, even though it wasn't in the greatest shape. And those photos took almost a month and a half to load to Zillow, which was really, really hurt, I think, because it didn't present well. So people didn't see the value in the listing price. Long story short, we did sell it. We got out of it. We closed on time as well, and we made a little bit of money. Paul also knew about this guy 2 doors down. Oh, that's Derek. And Derek, he moved out of town. He's been trying to fix the place up. It's really nice inside. Hey, can you get a phone call? Can I ask him if I can give him a shout? And I did, and we put that place under contract for 100, which he was super happy with, and we ended up selling it for 140. And we put some appraisal required repairs in, came in kind of different on a conventional loan for the repairs that they wanted, but the appraisers are really kind of pulling things back as far as market value. I think they're trying to keep the reins on it a little bit. It cost us about $6,000 total, I think. $5 in repair, a little bit for moisture termite damage, so under $6,000 to get out of that deal, closed on time, and both off the MLS.
I love it. All right, so talk about, I guess, what is it, San Antonio?
Yeah, so San Antonio, I put a Facebook. This one shortly after I joined up on Partner, and I put a Facebook ad out. I think I spent like $250 on the ad. And I got a phone call from a guy. Hey, we're moving out of town. We're moving to Missouri. Need to sell a house. All right, I'll be over there tomorrow. Walked in, places had really good potential, but it was just a mess. And they wanted 100 for it. I negotiated down, I think, to 187. I think we sold it for pretty quick turnaround to a cash buyer for 105. I think it was. So again, not a whole lot of profit, but really quick turnaround. Very little risk because it was a cash buyer, very short contingency period. And we're just turning that around.
I love it. I love it. Hey, talk a little bit about, from a perspective of someone like you who did understand the business before you got in the business. Where does someone like you benefit the most from our partner-driven model? I mean, because let's face it. I mean, I know you're a realtor, but you understood the investment game to a certain degree. So, where is the biggest benefit to someone like yourself from what we offer?
It's the support, the back end. I call Mary. This took me a while, but me and Mary will talk on the phone now.
He tells us.
Yeah, and so to be able to call up and I think we built a pretty good rapport as well between Mary and I, and I say, hey, look, I think we need to do this, and she will agree or disagree, and you're my client at that point in time, so I will do what you want. But we have pretty good conversations, and for me, having that back end, I also I have I've got Paul as a bird dog. He's still working. I've got a guy about ready to jump on and start making phone calls for me on a commission basis. He will be using Deal Driven, so because I can't give him access to anything that I have from the MLS or anything, but he'll be kind of set on that and making phone calls off of that. The Amplify partnership you guys have, awesome. I love those guys. And they are producing good leads, and we talk quite often because I do a lot of lead generation stuff, and they've done some tweaking here and there, and it's working out great. Great so far. I sold those two off of one of those leads for Paul. Nowhere found him without Amplify. I got a listing under contract right now. Actually, I've got 2 under contract right now that came from there, and I'm working on the next 2 deals. So one is a probate deal, and one is we bought this house to fix it up, and we just can't do it. So that will probably turn into a sell buy for me, plus probably a cash deal. And then the probate deal will absolutely be a cash deal. Hopefully, nothing's done until the ink is dry, but that's what we're working on.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, as kind of as an exit question.
Yeah.
There's people listening tonight. There's going to be people listening through recording, and they are thinking of coming on and being a partner. There's maybe potentially not sure. What do you tell someone like that?
Do it. Do it. I was pretty fortunate to have some capital to work with. So I took the approach of buying leads and aggressive marketing strategies on social media. But if you can pick up the phone and make a phone call, you can do this business. You have to be okay with hearing no, because you're going to hear it a lot. Just like in the dating world, it happens. And you can't get discouraged by that, because it's going to take a lot of no's, but that one yes, it makes it worth all the work, and it will make you go back for more every time. So yeah, it's hard and it's frustrating, and I get frustrated on both sides of this business. I get frustrated and juggling the owners and the deal and all this stuff is challenging, but nothing in life is for free. So I figure the harder I work now, the less I'll have to work later. And my little empire, of real estate property and portfolio will hopefully grow, and that's how I'll get to go spend a week in Santa Rosa. So
I already told you 3 more deals. Next 3 deals, I'm coming to see you.
Yeah.
Or we can go meet somewhere. Well, hey, if you got a better place, then we'll just go meet somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna pay you a visit. You look, Stephen. First of all, Mary loves you to pieces. She talks about you all the time. Everyone else, because I'll tell you, I think about, it's like sometimes when I talk to partners like you, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out, well, what's the one thing I could push out of this guy and take it and give it to someone else? And it always comes back to the same thing. It's the freaking attitude. It's always the attitude. It's not the guy that does the deal in the first 30 days. It's not the guy that comes in with $1 million in a checking account. I mean, those are all good. It's the right attitude. That is the one thing ultimately that the successful partners have in common. And then you could take it beyond that. I think it's what most successful people have in common. They just got that attitude. They got the attitude. It's a winning attitude. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, that's worth its weight in gold. So anyway, Stephen, you're an awesome partner. You're an awesome dude. I want the next 3 closings, push them as quickly as possible. I want to go hang out with you. We'll do some fun stuff. We'll record and all that. But I'm going to close off. I'm going to let you sign off.
Yeah, I'm going to go get my little girl.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for being here so much.
Bye-bye.
All right. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I mean, this is, I could sit here and talk to you about what we do with our partners, but I can't say really much after this. This is right here. This is a real life partner who we're closing deals with, in a process of closing more deals with. And that's what our partner model is all about. So if you're a partner here tonight, take it up a notch. You see some amazing things that we've been talking to you guys about, kind of teasing you with what's on the forefront. But I'm telling you, don't ever wait for amazing to happen. Beat amazing to the door. Start being amazing. Start, get ready to get ready. All right. I promise you, there's never been an Olympic athlete who's won a gold medal who somebody just brought to the starting point and said, run. No. It don't work that way. It's all the behind scenes effort, hard work, and the determination and hitting your head against the wall. So if you're a partner, you already know we're coming into amazing times. Please, please, please take advantage of it and take it up a notch. Go to our private Facebook page, hashtag Go30Hard, become part of that. I'm just being texted. We got another special. We're not going to bring him on because I don't even know how to do technology, but we got an amazing partner here whose birthday is today. Jamari Spruill. He's listening in. Jamari, happy birthday, dude. This is another deal guy we've done a bunch of deals with. He's near and dear to everyone's heart here at Partner Driven Family. He's an amazing guy. I'm going to have Jamari on here. When you hear Jamari's story, it's like, you're not only going to shed a tear, but you're going to look at yourself and say, seriously, it's challenging for me. Jamari, amazing. Happy birthday, dude. Just let's go hard. You're an inspiration to so many. So happy birthday. So if you're a partner, take it up a notch. If you're not a partner, we have a team member on standby tonight. So we could literally get you started tonight, start working with you as early as tomorrow. Her name is Christine. Her number is 770-369-4395. So if you're ready to take that step forward, become a partner and start rock and rolling. Other than that, guys, that's all I got. I enjoyed it. I love it. We are here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. This is what we do with the Partner Driven. We do deals and we showcase our model. So I'm signing off. I loved it. I appreciate it. See you guys same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.